Hey guys, and welcome back to the Gamer Guys channel. Today we're going to be picking up where we left off, and we're going to be doing a quick walkthrough of the Wind Temple. So our last video that we posted was all about how to get to the Wind Temple, and now this video is going to cover everything you need to do to complete the Wind Temple, as well as completing the boss of this dungeon as well. So without further ado, we'll get straight into it. So first off, we're going to want to head to the back of the boat. There's some ice choo-choos around, which unfortunately got me, but it's okay. We're going to pick up their choo-choo jellies, and you can use these to freeze enemies by attaching them to your weapons or arrows. There are also some Aracudas around. They drop some pretty generic loot, but they're annoying if you don't kill them. But actually, if you just leave them, Tulin will probably do them in for you anyway. Right, so in this room on the right is where you'll find the first wind dungeon lock. But first off, we're going to go over here. I'm going to use Ultra Hand to unlock this door. And then be prepared, as soon as you walk into this door, a construct enemy is going to charge at you. The charge actually hurts quite a lot, so you're going to want to interrupt it by either sidestepping or shooting him. If you get hit, it will damage you for quite a bit, so just be prepared for that. He's also got a really cool flame emitter spear, so that's going to do some pretty cool flame damage against some enemies in this dungeon as well. Another super handy tip for this dungeon is to make sure you really stock up on arrows. I think that you should be fine to not have to leave to buy arrows and come back again. I think there are plenty of boxes like those ones we just broke that contain arrows that you can use for the boss fight. It's going to be super important for that. You basically can't do the boss fight without arrows. Okay, once we're back out here, you're going to want to grab the icicle on the floor using Ultra Hand and attach it to this other lever over here. And once that's done, you can use Ultra Hand again to move the lever to open this next door. And behind it is the first wind dungeon lock. It looks like a fan, and no rewards for guessing that you're going to have to use Tulin's gust ability to activate this. Yes. All right. And you'll get this little cutscene every time as well, so you know you're on the right path.
Hey Link! This thing opened one of the locks. We gotta find the other 4.
Alright, so now that we've got the first lock down, we're going to proceed to find the second one, which is also relatively easy to track down, but can be a bit tricky to actually get to. So first off, we're going to head over and use the wind coming from the center of the ship to propel ourselves upwards, and then you're going to want to turn yourself around and make your way over to the top of this tower at the back of the ship. You'll spot that there are some doors that you can open with Ultra Hand. Now, before you just jump down willy-nilly, you are going to want to look down, because yes, there are lasers, and so this is kind of like a dropper situation, a Minecraft dropper situation, for those of you who remember that. And we recommend going a little bit to the left here, so you can kind of see I'm kind of scouting out a situation. There's quite a big gap down here, and you're just going to want to keep releasing and activating your paraglider until you're able to get down to this room here with the second lock. And again, you're going to want to use Tulin to activate it, and you'll get that little cutscene again.
Three more to go. We can.
And after that, before we leave this area, you're going to want to jump down here to get this chest. Again, activate, deactivate the paragliding until you get there, and this chest contains the Soldier's Blade. Alrighty, and to get out of here, you might be wondering, do I have to go all the way back up those lasers? No, ascend. You can just ascend from here, and it'll pop out at the beginning, basically at the center of the ship again. Alrighty, now onto the third lock. You'll find that when you come to the center of the center of the ship again, that some more enemies have spawned, so you'll probably want to deal with those as well. Tulin will also help you out. They're not the strongest constructs, so you should have no issues. And they'll also drop some useful weapons. We really recommend stocking up on some decent bows. So this guy has a strong construct bow, which is pretty good. And yeah, you're going to need bows and arrows for the boss fight. You can see I'm dropping any nearly broken weapons. So if you're facing the way we just came, so from those gated areas, you want to head to the right. But if you're facing away, then you want to head to the left and drop down. And as you can see, there's this little icy entrance there, but there are some icicles blocking your way. And there are also some laser cannons that are going to target you while you're flying around. So you're going to want to use some of these like rocky ruins to kind of protect yourself, I guess. And also, conveniently on this platform is a nice chest that we can loot as well. And again, it's another good strong bow. I'm dropping my rubbish bows, picking this up. And we're going to make our way over to this sail over here to break some of the icicles that are blocking our way. Now I've kind of messed up a little bit here, as you'll see. I'm not that close to it, so I'm breaking all of these and it's obviously draining my stamina. And then by the time I try and fly over, I've not got enough air. That's okay, you don't have to immediately die here. You can actually turn around and use the sail. So there's actually a bit of a learning curve. And it also replenishes your stamina as well when you jump on these trampolines, so that's super useful. So yes, not the be all and end all if you miss like me the first time around. Alright, oh, and we narrowly avoided getting hit by that cannon, which probably will one-shot you if you're as weak as I am at the moment. Alright, awesome. Now we're in here. You're going to want to deal with the keys that comes flying at you. I swapped my weapon because I don't want to use anything too strong on them. And then we're going to head over to the right here and use recall, not ascend, recall on this thing. On this kind of gear, and make it move backwards so that we can get to the other side of it. And in this room you will find another enemy that's going to charge at you, but if you've got reflexes like me, you can shoot it in the head or you can sidestep. Very weak again, but that charge attack can really take you by surprise and actually do quite a bit of damage. Alright, so this is the next puzzle. You need to get those cogs on the wall moving, so you're going to need to attach them somehow. And the easiest way to do that is to shoot one of the icicles. First off, I'm just going to open this door for whatever reason. I guess I wanted to open this with the lever, but that's going to be useful for later because that's how you can leave this room. But yeah, you can see that you can't move these, you can't move them yourself, can't manually move them, but you are going to want to use an icicle. So you're going to shoot it down, use Ultra Hand to pick it up. I actually picked up one that was a little bit too long. I would recommend one of the shorter ones because this kind of bugged out a bit and opened the door and I got the opening noise, but it didn't actually because it fell off. And you're going to want to position this so that it is kind of wedged in between one of the things, and also make sure it's attached to the leftmost cogs, not the right like I just did here, because otherwise it's not going to move. So now it's moved, but as you can see, it fell off, so you're going to want to do it a little bit more secure than that. So you'll see here that I have to try again, because even though I got the puzzle solved noise, it didn't actually do it. So I put it a bit further back that way, and it held a lot better and actually opened the door this time. And this is where you'll find the third lock. You know the drill by now. Use Tulin's gust ability and get that door open. Brilliant.
Three down, two to go. We're almost done, Link.
Alright, and on to the fourth one now. Almost there. So you're going to want to go up this room. If you haven't already opened it, use the use Ultra Hand, sorry, to pull the lever. And then use these springy sails. They're a little bit glitchy sometimes. You'll have to maybe take a couple goes like I just did there.
Yes!
But next up, you're going to want to head to the opposite side of the ship. So like last time, you're going to find the entrance into the side of the ship here. This one isn't covered by ice this time, so that's very good. But it is, you are greeted by an enemy. But luckily he hasn't spotted us, so I'm just going to deal with him quickly. He has got another bow. He's got fire arrows this time, quite annoyingly, but he has got another bow that you can utilize if you're running out of good bows. I decided I didn't want it. But there are some more of these crates here that you absolutely want to be breaking, and make sure to use a weapon that is good for breaking, so sledgehammers and stuff like that. Things with boulders on them are really good, so you're not using your like sharp weapons because they take a lot longer to break things. So we've got a nice pile of arrows growing now, and you're going to want to come back to that later. That's not what we're going to go do this time. That's where the final lock is. We'll be back there momentarily. So you've got more keys over here. You can just deal with those however you want. You can also just leave them and Tulin will absolutely shred them. Alright, so you're going to want to do a bit of a running jump and definitely use Tulin's gust ability to make it across here. If you narrowly miss, it should be okay, but if you do land on the ice, you are probably going to fall. Another box here. 10 arrows, very generous. 15 arrows even, very generous. And then you've got one of these enemies here that use Ultra Hand. And you're going to want to... I ran in here and stole what he Ultra Handed. Which is a ruby, I believe. Yep. And then we kind of just went in. He does pack a punch, as you'll see in a second. He does get me with a hit. But Tulin is there. Shooting dead shots every single time. And as you see, yeah, packs a punch. And here's where I realised I actually came into this temple with no food at all, so before I fight the boss I actually leave quickly to make some meals. Yeah, it feels a little bit... feels bad having to eat materials raw like that, but sometimes you have to. And it was good that I noticed before the boss fight, because that would have been a bit annoying. But I guess that's also a useful tip actually here, that you can leave and fast travel back once you've activated the temple. So if you're feeling like you're kind of low on supplies, low on food, low on arrows, low on weapons, then yeah, you can just come back. Alright, so I just ascended up here onto an upper level. And again, some more crates. Do not neglect these crates, guys. Super, super useful. And we're gonna make our way around the giant hole in the wall, in the floor, sorry. You can see here, you could ascend back up if you want, but that's not what we want to do right now, because we're gonna get the fourth block. And to the left here in this room, you'll find a weird column. It took me a second to figure out, but it is actually like the stem of like a fan. And you're going to want to use the broken pieces of floor just in the other room to act as fan blades, basically. And you're only going to need 2. So there's one here, and you're going to want to rotate it a little bit so that it's kind of parallel and sticking outwards, and then kind of make sure to attach it properly as well, like that. And there are loads and loads of pieces here, so you could actually put 4 on or 3 on if you wanted, but I think 2 worked just fine. So you just want to put it on the opposite side. I'm struggling with it this year, but it should be fine. Great. And now we're going to get Julian's gust ability to power it. And this is going to open that door on the right. Don't do what I did and walk into the moving fan. Luckily it didn't do that much damage. But yeah, proceed up the ladder. Deal with the enemy that's waiting for you conveniently at the top. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a bow. He does have a decent halberd, I suppose. Well, it's a rusty one, but it's better than all these sticks I have in my inventory. I don't know why. Yeah. Okay, and then you wanna... I didn't actually kill the enemy before I powered this lock, but it's fine. I deal with it swiftly afterwards.
We only have 1 left.
Sorry if you guys can hear that dog barking. It's my neighbor's dog. Okay, and now we're on to the final lock. So you just want to send out this room here. And make your way back to where you just were. There are probably easier ways to do it than what I did, but I kind of get lost in these temples, so I find it easy to just recenter myself by going back to the center here. Oh, you can also kind of, you know, I've got 89 arrows, as you can see. I did not come to this fight with that many, so that's been super useful to kind of collect them. And that'll be absolutely plenty for the fight as well. Okay, so you're going to want to jump off the edge. Avoid the laser cannon, as always. And head back into this room again, where you just came in from. It's Wind Temple B1. And we didn't actually get this treasure at the beginning, so you're going to have to do the James Bond laser situation here. It's quite easy though, you just go to the right here, then duck under this one, and jump over this one. Now, you're going to see in a second, sorry, we'll just loot this first. For a ruby, you can use them for fuse or you can sell them. You see here that I completely messed that jump. And this is what happens if you miss your jump. So yeah. Fortunately I didn't get the ankle quite right on that one. So I've just done a quick cut there because I don't want you to have to wait through my loading screen. Alright, so yeah, that jump is kinda... I just feel like sometimes I get the depth perception so wrong. Anyways, the next thing you'll want to do is head over to that icy gap at the bottom of the ship, and you're going to want to drop down it this time, and then head to the left. And this is where you'll find the final wind lock, but first you want to get rid of this enemy. He's a little bit tankier, I feel, than the other ones, mainly because of his shield, but yeah, you and Tulin will sure make a quick work of him. Once you've looted him, you can activate the final lock.
That's it, Link! We've unlocked them all! We should be able to open up the hatch in the main.
Amazing, that was actually pretty quick. So now we're gonna go up to the top of the ship again, and you can do this by exiting via a newly opened gate just across here. So if you'd have tried to come down this way earlier, you'll have found that it was locked. So you can head up the ladder, and then once you're at the top of this ladder, you can actually just, I think, ascend up. Now, we do recommend before going into the fight that you are well prepared. This is the boss fight of the Wind Dungeon, so you know you don't want to take this lightly. If you've not got any food, I'm just checking now, and I don't, then you will want to head off and come back at a later date. But once you're ready, you can activate the sigil at the center near the lock to start the boss fight. Alright, so this boss fight is reasonably straightforward. So you can see that he has 3 kind of circular parts of his body, and here he is kind of shedding some of the outer armor on the first circle. And what you're going to want to do is shoot your arrows at it. You're going to need 4 to actually hit the center of this thing. So as you can see, it's sometimes quite difficult to get the depth perception a little bit. And also when you're slowed, it's difficult to see what hits. So this is why you kind of want a lot of arrows, right? You've not got a lot of time or stamina to be in the air. So you're going to want to break the glass kind of outer armor first, and then once this kind of snowflake is revealed, you want to hit that as well. And this kind of causes the Colgera to get really angry and disappear through a vortex. And when it disappears, it's going to appear quite suddenly beneath you to try and eat you. It's relatively easy to dodge, sorry. But as it's coming up, you're going to want to take the opportunity to shoot at his understomach, because they don't have any of the outer spiky edges. And if you're good and speedy, and if perhaps you had more stamina as well, you'd actually be able to destroy them immediately, which would just, make this whole fight go a lot quicker. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to break the glass of any of them, so we're going to have to do it the good old-fashioned way, wait for him to kind of stay stationary, start shedding his armor. As you can see, again, I'm having a difficult time kind of gauging the depth perception, but when it's unslowed time, you can actually see that they are hitting, but I'm just not entirely sure. So I'm definitely shooting more than I need to, but we've got absolutely tons of arrows, so that's fine. So as you see, done the second one. He's going to repeat the same actions again. If you do get caught in this, it doesn't hurt too much. It does just make you like kind of knock out. So you see I kind of got knocked by something there, not entirely sure what. But it actually helped me dodge his attacks. So I'm going to take the opportunity again to shoot whilst he's kind of diving downwards. You want to shoot slightly upwards if you're quite far away, because this gives your arrow a little bit further reach. So yeah, that's completely cut out the kind of middle ground of waiting for him to shed that spiky armor. I've been able to do it while he's diving down by targeting his underbelly. Okay, second phase, basically exactly the same, but this time he also shoots out tornadoes. The tornadoes are more annoying than anything. They do a little bit of damage, but they mostly serve to kind of stop you from being able to paraglide. And it's also really difficult to see where they're going and when they're going to hit. So, not the end of the world if you get hit by them. They are just a bit irritating. And you can use Tulin's Gust of Wind, of course, to kind of get past them. Alright, so once again, doing exactly the same thing again. You're hitting his the glass parts of the circles on his body, and you're just doing this with the aim to kind of smash the glass entirely and shoot the core, the snowflake core. Oh, I should also mention, if you run out of stamina like I just did then, you're not going to fall to your death anyway, or anything. You are just going to replenish your stamina back again. So yeah, paragliding is continuous in this boss fight.
Way to go, Link. I'll help too.
So when he goes into this vortex again, he has again gonna just shoot himself upwards to try and bite you, and after this initial kind of dive up, you'll need to try to dodge the tornadoes that he produces again. This is me trying to get greedy, see his underbelly, but I don't think any of them hit, unfortunately. But you know what, we've got tons of arrows, so you just want to try your luck, I think. But I think I'm also getting a little impatient, just trying to wait for him to shed his spiky armor on the tops. But as you can see, the tornadoes really don't do anything except kind of stop you. They do a little bit of damage, but they're more annoying than anything. But I am making sure to kind of keep my health up, just in case I get caught out by his bite attacks. These spikes, if you get hit, will also hurt, but it's really easy to dodge them. I don't think I get hit by any of them in this playthrough, so that's great. But it just, it means I forget that that's actually something you should be avoiding. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm shooting higher to try and get it to hit. And the slowed time is great, but it also just kind of makes it hard to gauge whether you've actually hit it or not, because you've got that delayed time. And yeah, I think I essentially just want to be getting this over and done with. Unfortunately, don't have enough stamina. If you have a lot more stamina, this would be a lot easier. You can tell that I'm really just wanting to get this done, but it's a little bit too high for me, unfortunately. So we're just going to wait for him to do his thing. The tornadoes are super tall and super long. They basically span the entire arena, so if you were to drop down to the ship, you would still get caught out by them. Yeah, so I somehow managed to dodge all of these spikes as I'm going down. And I'm coming over to shoot. I think I'm a little wide, so I can get a little bit closer. We're nearly there. Brilliant, and we've done it. And that's all we've got for today. After a cutscene, you'll receive the power of Tulin that you'll be able to activate whenever you like by having his sage activated. You'll also get an extra heart. And I also wanted to let you guys know that we have a written guide for this boss fight and for the temple and for how to reach. So if you're interested in that, you can head over to the links that I attached on the screen. And that's all for today. Thanks very much, guys. See you next time. Bye!